Now, tonight's adventure into the unknown.
Shut up and sit down.
Please welcome Ben Morrison, everybody. Yeah!
Welcome to Sarge Approved. It's me, Sarge, and I'm here with Frenzy.
How's it going?
Super duper good.
Good.
We have a guest tonight.
Yes, we do.
Actor, comedian, Ben
Director,
Morrison.
voiceover person, all the things. He
He's
does
done-
lots of things.
He does a lot of things.
Ben Morrison, how's it going?
What's up, dude?
Oh, just busy here doing a lot of things.
Well, you know,
Just
it's good.
multitasking away over here.
It's good. Keeps you busy.
Where are you coming to us from tonight, my friend?
Sunny Los Angeles, California.
L.A.
Nice.
La La Land.
Good weather lately?
Oh yeah, it's finally getting really nice. Like it rained a lot for us this winter, which was amazing. We were kind of pretty desperate for it,
Yeah.
and now it's getting beautiful. It's getting real pretty.
Good.
Oh, good for you.
And by
Well,
a
it's
lot
nice
of rain.
because like it was so dry here that it was not uncommon to just get on the highway and look to your right, and the entire mountainside is just engulfed in flame. You're like, oh, okay, I guess that's a
Yeah.
Thursday.
We talked about this before, about how California's forecast includes fire. The weather forecast.
It legitimately does, and I live right by Hollywood and Highland, right by the Hollywood Bowl, and I was just driving to the valley one day last day, and I could see like the cloud was like black with smoke, and like literally right along the highway, the entire mountainside was aflame. It looked like Sauron was moving in right next to Universal Studios. It was insane.
Boggles my mind that you can have so many things, so much land destroyed by fire every single year, and there's still shit to start on fire every year.
Oh, yeah.
There's anything left.
Oh yeah, this place is like filled with like dry tinder on the ground and desperate people on Tinder running around. Yeah, that's a Ben Morrison quote.
Zing!
You can keep that.
Boom.
You can keep that.
All right, we're keeping
You
it.
need to put that shit on a t-shirt, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I probably would. It'd be like a good idea, and I order it when I was all baked, and then I'd get it, and I'd be like, "What the fuck is this? Is a paragraph. No one's gonna read this. They gotta be snappy."
Right? I fell asleep halfway through reading your shirt.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that would be the next shirt that I make, and I'm like, dude, this is getting more and more meta and more expensive. You have got to slow down.
I'm spending so
With your
much
t-shirt
money.
That's pretty funny. I like bankrupt my whole family because of funny teas.
Yeah.
Your voice is fading out a little bit. You like fade
All
out
right, hold on.
like you're fading in and out from the microphone.
Are you dancing over there?
Oh, really?
Are you doing that for effect?
No, I'm not doing it for effect. How is this any better?
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Sounds
good.
God damn, that sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
All right, let's pause a second so that we can hear a word from our sponsor.
Shut up.
Hey, this is Frenzy here to talk to you about National Survival Center. This is the place where you can purchase all of your outdoor camping gear and supplies, survival kits, disaster preparedness supplies, bug out bags, and even survival food. All with some of the lowest prices on the internet and free shipping on almost everything. You can depend on National Survival Center to provide you with the highest quality gear paired with superior customer service. And when you purchase your gear from National Survival Center, you're not only getting a great product, but you're receiving products that have all been hand tested to ensure that they'll be reliable, durable, and that they'll function properly. So whether you need some gear for a family camping adventure, or maybe you want to stock up for the zombie apocalypse, National Survival Center can provide you with the quality products you're looking for. You can find them at www.nationalsurvivalcenter.com or www.survivedon'tsuffer.com. Either way, don't suffer, make sure you survive.
Welcome back. That was
We're
fun.
back. That was fun. I like our sponsor.
You guys sponsored by short silent gap?
Yeah.
That's what I heard on my end.
I know.
No.
We put it in afterwards in editing. It's pre-recorded.
I figured.
So yeah, we are sponsored by Silence.
Silence.
That's free.
The sound of silence.
The sound of silence.
It's the ever elusive silence.
Yeah. No, we're not sponsored.
So how many episodes of this have you guys done?
You'll be episode 46.
46, huh?
Mm-hmm. Lucky
Yep.
number 46.
You're in it now. You guys have a product, a vision, a plan. You're executing.
Yeah, we are. There's like 6 hidden episodes that are
Something
absolutely hideous.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Call them the lost episodes.
Yeah, the lost episodes. So
That was those are you should call those Sarge unapproved.
Yeah.
yes,
right?
exactly. So those aren't included in the 46, thankfully. They're
Hey,
bad.
maybe you're late one week and you decide to post your like controversial
We would lose
live from.
It'd be horrible.
Yeah, you got to backlog those things.
I think we'd lose a lot of listeners.
And respect.
Hey, you never know until you try. So where are you
Sure,
guys
sure.
coming from? Where are you right now?
We're in Minnesota.
We're in Minnesota, Minneapolis,
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
My college, my freshman year college roommate was from White Bear Lake.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Don't
Or
you know?
been
He
there?
was from he was from White Bear. I walked
White
into
Bear.
the dorm. I went to NYU, and I walked in, and he'd gotten there before me. We split like a shoebox sized dorm room. And I looked in the closet, and it was just nothing but flannel, like as far as the eye could see, flannel.
That's perfect.
And literally from like the first time he set foot in Manhattan and walked around, he never touched any of that flannel. He didn't wear a single flannel shirt
Why not?
after he took one walk.
He probably didn't know there was any other options. It was probably all Abercrombie
Well, I think-
flannels.
I was in New York '97. He just happened to move to New York in a bad time for flannel, right? Because the grunge scene had kind of died down at that point, and it wasn't necessarily cool anymore. And the kind of hipster revival thing hadn't really happened yet because it was the late '90s. So he was a man without a country. He was a flannel shirt without a mission statement at that point.
Yeah, he was
you know?
stuck in a black hole of fashion.
He was. I mean, at that point, like, the flannel wasn't to say, hey, I'm ironic, I dress like a lumberjack. It was like, sometimes it gets cold. You got to wear something pretty warm.
Don't you know?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I know. Good people from Minnesota, though, always.
Yep, we like to think so. Thanks.
Yeah.
You do. So you're two intrepid comedy lovers in Minnesota who decided you had a dream, and you found out that you could record podcasts on your phone, and you were like, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, pretty much. Except we record on a laptop situation that's a little bit more fancy. But other than that, yeah, we basically decided we wanted to do it. We started out just
Upgrade.
talking to each other, basically, before we had any guests.
Yeah, I think the first one might have been on a phone.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you're like, oh my god, the recording quality on the iPhone's so good. Hey, you know what?
Oh, it was pretty low tech.
Yeah.
Pretty
Was
low
it?
tech.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But then we both kind of discovered we had a love for comedy, and also just kind of always kind of when we were kids wanting to be like news reporters or radio DJs or whatever, and kind of just put the two together.
Yeah,
and
with podcasting, you can be a news reporter. You're like, live from my bedroom, we're investigating
You could
where
actually
my clean underwear went.
you could
Yeah.
you could report some actual news instead of some of the shit you see on TV these days.
yeah, there's
Yeah,
that too.
that would be like, live from my bedroom. Another one leaves? Disappointed. News at 11.
That's awesome.
Horrible.
No, it was good. I liked it. It made me giggle.
So, comedian, actor, where would we have seen you, Ben Morrison?
Well, if you were to have seen me anywhere over the years, it would probably be on copious reruns of that old prank show Punk on MTV.
yeah,
I did a whole season of that right when I moved to LA, and that was like 10 years ago, but they still air those things in like the Philippines. I did a brief stint on NCIS. I was on Gotham Comedy Live on Access TV, and then a ton of commercials and like digital shorts
Okay.
and commercials that are mainly online.
Okay.
A bunch of intermediary stuff.
Yeah. And you're currently working on recording your own short. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm doing a short film in a month that is kind of like a passion project for me. Like last fall, I wasn't working on anything, and then just decided I wanted to get back on stage and do some scripted character work. So I just did a free one-act festival in like a black box, like straight old school theater, just because I wanted to act. And I get handed this absolutely beautiful script, just two characters, and I fell in love with the script the second I read it. It was really gorgeous. The other one acts in the series were not, I think, as sound artistically. And anyway, we staged it, and the other actress I was working with was just phenomenal. This young Australian girl, like fresh out of theater school, and I was like, this is the next thing I want to direct, because I'm widening the scope of what I want to do artistically to more writer, director, actor stuff. Just self-generating content and or taking existing content and adapting it and then directing it the way I would see it and then acting in it and just getting it all done. So we're going to do this in a month. And it's interesting putting together like your own project, because normally even with the stuff I've written and directed, I've worked with a production company and, you know, I've like pitched an idea or pitched a commercial campaign and the money's come from someone else and I've had a whole support network. This one is just like, I want to make this movie. And being literally at ground zero and it's just you and beginning to, you know, ask for help and say, okay, I might need to actually spend some money on this and hopefully I can make that back. But the belief in the project is more important than the chunk of cash I'm holding on to right now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, yeah.
Plus, you get to have pretty much all the control over it. You don't have to have it be changed or adapted, or, you know, you get to keep it your baby, your vision, which is very cool.
That's
too much control. Too much control, I feel, can also be a detriment. So I'm trying to put in place co-workers that I feel are in their own way sound artistically and really ask their advice and guidance on moving forward with this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You have to have help.
So I definitely work best at the helm because I'm a fucking Gemini egotist, but I'm also smart enough to know that people whose art you are impressed by should be listened to when they're giving you notes in a loving way on your art.
Right.
So I'm kind of looking forward to that. My old roommate, as it turns out, back in New York, I lived with him for 4 years back in Brooklyn. Went on to become a really genius cinematographer, and he works all the time in New York and all over the country and world, really. And I took this opportunity as a chance to just fly him out and just make a movie with one of my oldest friends who has, as I said, become an artist whose work really inspires me.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. It'll
That's
be
cool.
fun to do this. And I got, I'm just putting the pieces together, just the location, and the budget is blossoming, of course. At first you're like, let's just make a nice little character piece. And then you're like, well, shit. Like, if I want this to actually be something that could contend for film festivals, it just has to have a certain quality to it, look-wise. And that's just going to require a certain camera, which I'm just going to certainly have to rent if I want it to look good. I can't really make this on an iPhone, so
yeah,
it's all those things. But I mean, that's
cheap either, huh?
No, it's not going to be cheap. But
it's worth it.
I'm working. I work a full-time job. I'm not allowed to say writing content, producing on a show. So that's giving me the resources to be able to do this. Is the content creation job I work all day, which is not a writer.
Okay, he's not a writer. He doesn't write anything.
I have been instructed to tell by my superiors.
Okay, no writing.
No writing with big quotation marks for our listeners who can't see that.
Yes.
Huge quotation marks.
That's cool, though. Yeah, I think that it's cool when you get to be able to do what you're passionate about, but you still kind of have to, like, do other things that you still like. But when you have something that you just want to make and do or create or whatever, and it's just like this thing that you're like, loving so much and you get to be able to do it, I think that's pretty cool. Because a lot of people don't ever get to do that.
Yeah, it's probably not too bad of a day job.
I think it's no, it's good. I've gotten into the groove of things. I've been working there for a month. Like I've literally never had a job before, and what I mean by that is like right after I got out of college, like my parents, they got me through college, but afterwards I was on my own, and I also knew that I was not very good at ever having a boss or working a job. Just because the second I'd show up to any job, I'd immediately be figuring out ways I could scam things from the job. Like if I was working a catering gig, the second I'd show up, I'd try to figure out what corners I could hide extra bottles of booze in, and what hallway didn't have anyone walking. So when I was like handing out appetizers, I could eat half of them myself. Like it's just who I am.
Yeah.
Like I don't take orders very well. I've always had kind of a Wild West mentality. And managed to do it. I was always able to pay the bills from little writing gigs, little acting gigs, little photography gigs, designing website gigs. It was all like out of my bedroom, and that extended into my 30s when I was able to make a real living doing comedy and other projects. It's all been out of the apartment. So going to an office every day is like still kind of a novelty to me, and it's just kind of funny how like the little frustrations I encounter on a day-to-day basis and bring to my friends who have worked office jobs before, to me, are these big, gigantic deals. Like, we only get 1 hour to eat our lunch. Like, I'm used to, 3-hour lunches by the pool. They're like, no, you dumb motherfucker. It's a job. That's what happens. And I'm like, wait, so I got to come here every day? Yeah,
right?
It's a job.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a total adjustment.
Well, I mean, I think it's given me a lot of empathy for people who work day jobs that don't fulfill them in any way. Like, the schedule I've adjusted to, but we go into production on lots and lots and lots of episodes shortly. So everyone's working towards one shared creative goal, and the job itself is very demanding creatively. Mm-hmm. So I do feel like my brain is getting what it needs during the day, but, to be able to have so little time to lead your own life and spend so much of your own time, almost all of your own time, like waking productive hours, just doing something you just have no connection to or fucking hate. Like, that really is hell. Like, you gotta fix that.
Yeah, you gotta get rid of that.
There's a lot of people in this world that are stuck with that shitty 9-to-5 job that they wake up every morning and they're just angry as soon as they wake up.
Well, yeah,
knowing
and then
that they got to go into this shitty job, and it's not like it's easy to just decide one day that you're not going to do that anymore. You're going to jump out of that cycle, that rut, and actually do something that makes you happy. That's scary.
It's super scary. But the other thing is when you are miserable at that 9-to-5, that translates into your other life, your personal life, your basically your whole life.
But what would the world be without those miserable bastards working those 9-to-5 jobs? Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, I know. They're the ones that come to my comedy shows. So
right?
Just stick with the job for a little while longer. The money's good.
It's not that bad, right?
It's not that bad. Yeah, things could be worse.
So I want to hear a little bit about this season you did on Punk'd and NCIS, because I actually like NCIS. I've watched a lot of. Is it the one, the original NCIS, or is it the? Yeah, the OG NCIS. Yeah. That it was a recurring role. Did you watch NCIS? Like, do you know Ziva? She was like the lead chick for eight seasons. Yeah. I watched up to I don't know what season, 9 or 10, something like that.
Yeah, once they killed off her dad on the show, I started playing him in flashbacks, which was turning into a great recurring because audiences love the whole daddy-daughter stuff, and it was only supposed to be one, and it turned into it ultimately wound up being 4. And it was being like, oh shit, cool, I'm going to be on NCIS every once in a while. But then the actress just decided to up and leave the show for no reason. So,
so I probably
that was the end of that. I've never.
I was thankful for it. I still get residual checks for very little money.
Nice. Mailbox
speaking
money.
of residual checks, this is hilarious. Punk'd, right? Mm-hmm. I still get residual checks from Punk'd, but at this point, it's it literally is for streaming media in Polynesia or some shit. So the checks are like laughably low money, and like checks for literally checks for like 75 cents, 50 cents, and then I got a couple. I had a couple in the in like the 20-cent range.
It costs more to mail you that damn check.
Check this out. 2 days ago, I got 3 residual checks, and I knew it has to be Punk for some reason. And one of them was for, and I'm not making this up, 1 cent.
What?
It was for a fucking penny.
Oh my god.
Penny exactly, 0.01 cents.
Wow.
What?
It costs more to print out the check.
That's not even the end of the story.
There's
I open up the next check, and the residual itself was for so little money that after people took their like pound of flesh, it was for less than a penny, and the check just says void on it.
What?
On the title of the check, it says void of advice only. Advice only.
Advice
Like,
only?
yeah, it's like, I'll give you some advice. Get a better fucking agent. How about that?
Wow.
And then at the bottom, it says literally on big letters, non-negotiable.
What?
Yeah, they just rounded
Like
that.
what?
They rounded that fraction of a penny up and gave it to Richard Pryor for his role in Superman.
I was like, am I going to negotiate that you bump this up to a whole penny? Like, fuck you guys.
I don't
Take
think
the
anybody got
paper.
that reference. Okay,
The Richard Pryor.
They gave it to the dudes in Office Space. They stole that idea from Superman. Remember?
What am I going to? What did he say? What am I going to do with 40 subscriptions to what is it, Ebony or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's crazy. That's pretty funny. You should just maybe like make a scrapbook of those checks, never cash them.
Why did they
Just
even
send
send
them
the
around.
checks?
That's just what you get your residuals in. I mean, these checks are definitely getting framed and going on the wall for sure.
Yeah, they have to.
The wall o' shame.
Yeah. What did you do on Punk'd?
I was like the lead guy who fucks with celebrities for a whole season.
Okay.
Probably seen you. You look familiar. We've probably seen you all over, and we're like, oh. Now looking back, yeah, there's Ben.
Oh yeah, there's me.
There's you.
75 cents there. 75 cents there.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of hidden camera anymore. Like, I think that trend really came and went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely had its big boom era though for a while there, for a good part of a decade, where there's all kinds of shows like that.
I think I was probably at the zenith of that with Punk'd, quite frankly.
Yeah, that was the big one.
I love that show.
However, the reason I was able to I got Punk'd was because I had done an MTV, a hidden camera show called Damage Control that MTV had done, and I shot that in New York a year before I came out here, which was like one of the biggest bombs of MTV's history, and that was still probably the craziest thing I've ever done with Damage Control.
What was that one about?
The setup to this one, and it was like, so the setup was pretty sadistic. I think they shot it in New Jersey because it was only one of 2 states where what they were doing was even legal, where a kid thought he had been left home alone for the weekend, but in fact it was his parents who set him up. So like the kid was always like a freshman at a local state college, and the parents would call and be like, hey, we got a vacation weekend, we're going to go, do you want the house? And of course the kid's like, hell yeah, I do. I'm going to throw a huge party. But the parents didn't actually go to a vacation. They went to the house next door, which literally had like a Truman Show setup of of monitors set up, monitoring the 40 hidden cameras that have been hidden throughout the kid's actual home.
Oh, jeez.
And then we would come in character and just fuck with this kid for like 2 days. Like the actors would sleep over the house.
What?
Yeah, I saw us cause a nervous breakdown in a chick.
How'd you get these kids to even let you in the house and spend the fucking night?
Because like one little thing would lead to another little thing, which would lead to another little thing. Like one of the pranks was the parents would leave and they say, by the way, a plumber is coming to just fix the leaky sink.
And
Usually
he's going to spend the night. He's going to spend a couple of nights.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's almost hard to even describe the series of events. Like the plumber would come to fix the sink, the pipe would burst, water's everywhere, the kid's freaking out. The plumber's like, hey, I got a guy, he can fix it. He makes the call. His friends who come are like two like total mafia types. We say they can fix the pipes, but can you do me a favor? Can we keep a large package in a freezer you have in your backyard? And the kid's like, what? And they bring a package and they put it in the freezer.
That's awesome.
And the package looks suspiciously like a human body. So it was really like dropping like the movie Risky Business on some unsuspecting kid.
Yeah.
And I came in once. It was like in the woods in rural New Jersey, and I was the second prank of the morning. I had to show up on a kid's lawn in a one-piece spandex bodysuit with like a big helmet camera horn pointing back at me coming off from my helmet. And I had to convince this kid that I was on a new reality show called The Master Race, and I had just traveled on foot from California to New Jersey, and would he harbor me in his house because gladiators were pursuing me as part of the show.
What?
And I just had to make it to Times Square that night for the grand finale.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
And this was legit. These kids had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, they really did, because part of the casting for those shows, the casting people work with a psychologist who looks for candidates who they feel are kind of stupid and easily manipulated.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna nominate my kid. He's really he's about on the verge of joining a cult. He'd be great for this show.
Yeah.
He's very impressionable.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
And then
not
can't
even
they
lying to you. Yes.
And then can't they win money if they tell their parents what happened, like while they were gone or something? Isn't that kind of part of the bit? Do they win money too?
With damage control in particular, the show could have been just a comedic hit, honestly, because the improv that we were doing was so crazy, and what we were pulling off was so like, okay, for the episode that I did, the Running Man thing, what the parents didn't tell MTV was that their kid had a fucking black belt in karate and a burgeoning steroid problem. So I show up on his lawn in a fucking spandex jumpsuit trying to calm him down, and then the people inside the house, there was always one accomplice, is like restraining him from beating my ass on his front lawn. Meanwhile, I have to let this kid let me in his fucking house or there's no episode.
Oh my gosh. What? That seems super stressful.
Well, the reason the kid was so fucking stressed out is I was the second prank of the morning. It was like a Saturday morning. And the by the way, so-and-so is coming to do so-and-so, when the parents left, was, by the way, a charity is going to come by and pick up that old lawnmower. And the kid's like, yeah, sure, whatever, just leave, finally. So the charity does show up in this case, but in this case it was MTV. They were two smoking hot chicks who, via whatever series of events, after they get the lawnmower or like the change jar, start making out in the kid's living room. And then they were like, would you give us something else? And he was like, what? And they were like, we'll take our shirts off. And then they take their tops off and they're in bras. And the kid, like, literally after giving them the lawnmower, came down with like a fucking jar of pennies, like from Stand By Me. And he was like, take these. So then those two chicks leave. So think about it. He's a 19-year-old. Two hot chicks have just been making out in his living room. No one's home. What do you think he's going to do next?
Yeah. He whipped his dick out. So
I get the distress call on the radio, go, 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 because homeboy starts whacking it on his living room couch. And, the control room was like, don't look. And they sent me in as a diversion tactic.
What? He literally whipped it out.
Yeah. Yeah, he was fucking home alone, man. He was turned on. And they fucking sent my ass in.
I was going to say, how many times did those hidden cameras catch these kids whacking off?
I think that was the only time that we know of. But the kid must have figured out that the cameras had caught them, because I am told that literally the next day when they did the big reveal, like the kid, because the gladiators showed up with the camera crew, and the kid was like, oh my God, this is a legit show. So they did this whole like gladiator event in his backyard, and he thought he was on like a new Survivor type reality show. And then when they did the big reveal that it was actually MTV and there were hidden cameras everywhere, he fucking flipped out, started smashing the garden gnomes in his front lawn, hops in his like Subaru, which he had tricked out for racing, and like fishtails off into the night, to be followed by like a van filled with MTV crew members who are like literally like fishtailing after him with cameras out the window chasing him.
What?
And I've heard that when they finally found him, he was in the woods, crying, punching a tree.
What?
That kid's
Oh
got
my
some problems.
gosh.
Holy shit.
Television, dude. You
Yeah.
can't beat it.
Damn.
Damage control. I
So that show
I still
didn't
remember
get
that
picked up.
fondly. And I'm actually still really good friends with a lot of people I met on that show.
Yeah, Frenzy's got the whole DVD
Yeah,
set.
no, I don't.
She ordered that shit off Amazon. You should be expecting a residual check any day now. Frenzy just bought the DVD set.
Good.
And luckily,
I'm sure-
I have
I'm sure,
Amazon Prime, so it's going to come like tomorrow.
I'm sure your purchase of the DVD will trigger another sub-penny residual check for me. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything we can do to help, man.
I'll send you a picture
That's
frame to
hilarious.
put it in.
Oh man, yeah, I haven't done hidden camera stuff in a while. I did a lot of that for a little bit. You know, it was kind of a specialty. Like not many people could do it.
Yes, there's a lot of improv, I suppose.
Well, it's a lot of improv, but you're also kind of doing a real intricate dance with needing to contain the action in the blast radius of what you know the hidden cameras can pick up. You know, so you have to whip up a tornado, but you also have to keep that tornado in one like area of the courtyard.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of part of it is, you know, ironically doing the damage control. So whatever is happening, you know, if you get them to get so angry they storm off, that's what you want. You just want them to storm on. So it was, you know, and of course you get one take, and if you telegraph that something is happening, then, you know, the producers are going to fire you, and there's going to be no show. So it was kind of like it was like comedy ninja warrior type stuff.
Yeah.
Ninja Warrior. That's awesome.
Comedy ninja.
Comedy Ninja.
So how long have you been doing the whole comedy thing? When did you get started?
Been doing stand up for I guess it'll be 17 years this summer.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you
My
are.
first set was July 4th weekend, 2000.
So you're a vet. How'd you get started in it? What made you jump in?
Well, it's a funny story. I never really necessarily meant to be a comedian. I was going to NYU's theater school at the time, and I've been acting since I was like a sperm. Like being on stage is really all I've ever done, but acting. And then, of course, I was going to theater school at NYU, but I'd always had like a secret love affair with stand-up, just because it seemed like the wild west of performance. And I had grown up on stage with, you know, a director and someone else's words, and go here, say that, do that. And while I loved it dearly, was always intrigued by the solo nature of stand-up, both from the performance and the writing aspect. So anyway, I mean, the story is halfway through fucking theater school, I was dating this Serbian chick who loved to get wasted and flash her admittedly incredible tits to everyone. And one night I couldn't handle it, and I started hyperventilating, so I decided to get drunk, and then I blacked out. And sometime after my blackout, I seemed to have negotiated my first stand-up comedy set.
So boobs started your comedy career, basically.
Drunk.
Boobs and
Serbian.
booze and a little bit of lying started my stand-up comedy career.
Nice.
Yes, that is the God's honest truth.
Even
I
if-
woke up the next morning. I
Even-
think I passed out in the bathroom of the bar, and I woke up the next morning. I was like, "What the fuck happened? Did I do anything stupid?" And they were like, "Well,
Started
I don't know if you
comedy
would
career.
count this as stupid, but you have a stand-up show on Sunday night." And I was like, "You have got to not let me drink so much, guys."
Did you do it?
Yeah, I did it.
How'd it go?
Because at that point, doing stand-up was something I'd always like secretly dreamed of doing. And at that point, if I was going to make a call, I would make a call to cancel a stand-up comedy show rather than finally go out and get one.
Right.
So I took it as a cue that drunk Ben, hopped into a pool that sober Ben never really had the nuts to hop into. And, I might as well learn how to swim. And here I am 17 years later.
Damn. So how did it go? How'd that first set go?
I remember it being okay. I mean, I immediately remembered the initial incongruities to what I'd been used to for the previous 15 years, in the sense that I didn't know how to express my thoughts with only one arm, because the other one was holding a microphone, which I was not used to. And I remember feeling like my breathing was really off, like I didn't have control over my breathing, which of course fucks up your timing. And I was not used to that either, because I'd just always been on stage and, was very used to people staring at me and bright lights and stuff like that. But it was weird. It was kind of like going home and all your furniture has been like rearranged and your TV only gets Spanish language channels.
Telemundo.
Still your home, but very different. And I kind of fell in love with that, and for many years that was really shitty. Some would say I still am, but the fact that I was so bad at it only made me love it more, because I was experiencing a whole other arena of performance, almost like from an infant's point of view, which was really cool for someone like me who had just been a performer in different mediums for so long. Now, in the beginning, I talk really, really fast. I remember early shows literally thinking to myself, talk so fast you don't even give them time to judge you.
Yeah, you got 30 minutes of material that you're getting done in like 12 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. As a comedian, you kind of go through, you play with things. You're like, oh, what if I do it all with a funny voice? Or what if I talk really fast? Or what if I talk really slow? Yeah. And, you think that maybe you'll just find your one hook. And if you just stick with it, ultimately, you learn that good jokes is good jokes. And it's really all about the writing.
Yeah, I think
there's no real way around that.
I think it's good for a comedian, especially to have those years where they were shitty and they're figuring it out, because that's when you figure out kind of what you're going to become as a comedian and what your whole hook is going to be and how you're going to approach things.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Real quick, in hindsight, I feel lucky in hindsight to have been able to decide to really become a comedian at 21, right after college, and be in New York City at that age, because I was able to become totally obsessed with it. And because I was in New York City, as opposed to really any other place in the country, I could get on stage frequently. I mean, they'd all be shitty open mics, but in New York City, you can walk from mic to mic to mic and bang out 2 or 3 shows in one night, and really just kind of stay in one general area. And a community develops really fast. And
you can get a lot done.
You're able to really get your obsessive years in and feel like you're not wasting your time driving 30 minutes and then waiting for 3 hours like it is in Los Angeles and I imagine anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
So that was very helpful. You're able to log a lot of hours and develop a community pretty quickly in a small geographical location, which adds a layer of convenience to that whole prospect, where even if you're starting at open mics, you do feel like you're getting something done on a regular basis. And I see comics who start in Los Angeles, and I feel for them, because they got to drive 30 minutes, 40 minutes in traffic to sit and maybe get up at a mic. Yeah. I don't know if I'd have the wherewithal to deal with that now. Of course, I'm a lot older too.
Yeah, but it's exhausting, I bet.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that. That's how a lot of world's most brilliant comedy careers ended. Yeah, fuck that.
Fuck that. Fuck that shit. I'm not dealing with that. No, I
Exactly.
think it's cool. We've had the opportunity to talk to some other comedians who've been doing it for a while, and they've also kind of branched off into the writing or doing other things that, maybe they started doing comedy and then kind of realized they had other passions too that kind of go hand in hand with it, and just kind of trying out new stuff or following those passions. It's cool to kind of progress and grow, as you go on, no matter what you do. But
yeah, for sure.
There's so much you can do with comedy.
yeah.
You can branch out, well, especially with acting. You get a lot of comedians that try out the whole acting bug.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Lots of different things.
Well, I think comedians make good actors.
Yeah.
In the sense that, I think once you do stand up for a long enough time, you can kind of predict an audience's reaction to words. So after a long enough time, you kind of just develop an inner cadence with words in a relationship to pauses that's informed by a live audience. And when I'm doing stuff now and when I'm on camera too, if I get a laugh, I know to listen to the wave of the laughter and jump back in with dialogue right as it's rounded the bell curve and come back in with the next thing to keep the energy up and the awareness up. And that's only because of stand-up.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it because we can just cut it out. But what do you have a guest coming when?
Yeah, it's about time for you to.
I don't want to have your
it's 9
door
o'clock.
ready.
Yeah, I guess it'll be coming shortly. And we can do a final 5-minute thought.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
So you got this short film that's coming out. When can people expect that? Is there any kind of timetable on that?
Not really. I mean, if all goes to plan, let's just say check my social media probably in the late summer for it being up and edited and stuff like that. But I post a lot of content on my social media channels. So if anyone who is listening to this wants to see what I do, there's a lot of good stuff up there waiting for them currently.
Okay, cool. And where can they find you?
Best place for that is definitely YouTube. I release a lot of single joke stand-up clips I call little bits that are really one joke in almost a pod format with subtitles and stuff, like really ready to share.
Oh, cool.
That's a pretty great way to see what I do.
Okay.
Bite-sized laughs.
On all of the social media channels, it's Ben the Morrison, BenTheMorrison, on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and there's a pretty fair amount of content on all of those.
Okay.
So if anyone is listening to this, just load up Ben the Morrison on really any of them, and I cross-post all of the content, so you'll see it.
Okay, cool.
Beautiful.
Ben the Morrison. Do it. Check it out.
Like it, love it.
Do you guys have any favorite pieces of advice from the guests that you've interviewed that you want to impart upon me?
And for your comedy career or acting career or just life in general?
Just let's just go with being an artist, living the creative life.
Right.
Yeah, right. I would say stick with it is one of the big ones. Like no matter what, just keep doing it and
don't be a douchebag. Don't step on people.
Yeah.
Don't step on people.
Yeah, be a good human being.
Do not step on people on your way to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's a huge one. I mean, the thing is, I don't really get the whole people who are douches thing, right? And there's certainly a lot of them. But from my point of view, like, being able to be friends with other artists and other comedians and really have that camaraderie with someone who's so talented and funny, like, that's why you do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole idea of fame should be secondary to the life you get to lead as someone who makes people laugh and friends who make people laugh.
Yeah, all right. Support each other and collaborate and do it together. You're all doing things that you love. Might as well make it like a little tribe of people.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of wasting the best part of being an artist is getting to be friends with other artists.
Yeah.
You surround yourself with other cool people, like-minded individuals that share in the same kind of interests and passions that you do, and God, that's a big part of living a happy life, I believe.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do it, people.
Being around undeniably funny people makes me undeniably funnier. So treat those relationships with respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. All right, my friend. You got to skedaddle.
Well,
you got a friend coming over.
This episode has been Ben approved, let me tell you.
Okay, good. We're glad. We're happy
I
about
approve of your episode. So awesome. When do you guys usually post these?
This one should be posted. I should be able to get it done tomorrow.
that. Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
We have a comedy show tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to an open mic tomorrow night to check some people out.
Oh,
But
yeah?
yeah, we went to one a couple
How's
weeks
the,
ago too. It was fun.
Got to scout the up and coming.
How was the Minnesota comedy scene?
It's good.
You guys have some good people out there, yeah?
We got a big comedy scene here, definitely. It's you got like the Acme Comedy Club and Brunson's House of Comedy.
Rick
Bronson.
Bronson's
Yeah,
House
Richard.
of Comedy,
Yep.
Hopkins Comedy Club. There's a few around, but yeah, it should be fun. It's always fun. We went to Acme a couple weeks ago, and the energy just throughout everywhere, from the comics to the audience, it was really, really fun.
It's cool when you can go to an open
Oh, that's
mic.
great.
It's cool.
Did you see a headliner or was it a mic?
Nope, open mic.
Open mic. That's what's so cool about it. When you can go to an open mic and it seems like everyone that gets on stage was making you laugh at some point.
Yeah, it was just fun.
Like legitimate laughs, not just that uncomfortable laugh where you kind of feel bad for them a little bit. Like,
yeah, and it was a good probably hour and a half, 2 hours, and at the end I was like, "It's over, no!" Like I wanted more. It was good.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. Oh, good. Keep the jokes flying, man. Hopefully
Yeah.
one of them has the honor of being on Sarge Approved.
Yeah, we got a couple lined up, but we appreciate it. It's fun to do.
all right, my friend.
Keep doing it.
Well,
Keep doing a great job.
Thanks. We plan on it.
I'll be in touch with you tomorrow, and
Okay, cool. I will
Keep you
send it
updated.
out.
Cool.
all right, my friend. You
Thanks
have
for
a good
chatting
night.
Have a
with
great
us.
evening, guys. Thanks
Yeah,
a
you
lot.
too. Take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's outro time, Frenzy.
Yes, it is.
It is totally outro time.
It's time to do the outro.
Let's get it done. That was comedian, actor, Benjamin Morrison.
Ben Morrison.
Should we call him Ben?
Yeah,
Okay, we'll call him Ben. Ben Morrison.
Ben Morrison.
Interesting dude. Mm-hmm. He's done some cool things. And we look forward to more cool things to come from
Yeah.
that individual.
The stuff he's working on and all that goodness.
Bum. All right. Let's, should we give some shout-outs?
Yeah.
Should we give some shout-outs to?
Probably should do some shout
Who
outs.
should we give some shout-outs to?
How
shout out?
about Larry Roberts, who's working on his new podcast?
New podcast, Readily Random.
Yes.
Accidentally, the whole tip is gone. It
Yep.
is dust in the wind.
Yep, it's gone.
And now he's starting a new podcast where he is the sole host,
Mm-hmm.
and he can do it any which way he wants. And actually, we're going to be on his podcast tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. We're going to be guests.
We're going to be guests.
Mm-hmm.
We're switching the tables a little bit.
Yeah, should be fun. We were on his old podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Accidentally, the whole gigantic tip.
Yep, that one was really fun too.
Yeah, this one, I'm looking forward to it. So, Larry Roberts, what up?
What up?
I always like to try to give a shout out to Mr. Kevin Goatee,
Yes.
comedian and host of Comics Watching Comics.
Yep.
Very, very awesome show. Check that out. You can find that show on YouTube. I think they just wrapped up season 4.
Yes, they just
So,
did. Yep.
That's a good show, and we're looking to get that show spread all over the country because it's a damn good show. It's
Yeah.
very well done.
It is. And Kevin is also a fellow Nirvana fan, so I like that.
Yeah, today is the day that Kurt Cobain died. How long
Uh-huh.
ago was that?
23 years ago. 1994. April 5th, 1994.
23 years? It's been that long? Holy shit. I
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
didn't know it'd been that long. I thought maybe like 10, 15 at the most.
23.
Wow, how old would he be now if he was still alive?
I don't know. Probably 50 something.
He had, what was he, maybe late 20s when he died?
He was 27 when he died.
Okay, so 23 years ago he would have been 40.
He'd be 50 because he was
50.
born in November 20th,
he's-
1967. This is his birthday.
Yeah, 50. Okay. I never claimed to be good at math. He would have been 50. Okay, damn. Almost half his life ago.
Yep.
Like, wow.
Crazy.
Oofda. All right. So Kurt Cobain, you gave us a lot of badass songs, and you died way too damn young. You're part of that 27 club.
Mm-hmm.
Super talented individuals that decided to just fucking end things by doing a bunch of drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Bastards.
Unfortunate.
You got a bunch more music you could have given us, you son of a bitch. Cool. All right. So thanks for listening, guys. I think that you should go to our Facebook page. Sarge Approved. Like that shit. Follow us. Go to Twitter. Follow us there. Sarge Approved. At Sarge Approved.
Instagram.
At
Sarge Approved. Or you can follow me at Melissa Frenzy on Instagram.
Yeah, and you've got a Twitter.
And Twitter at Melissa Frenzy.
We've got a website.
www.sargeapproved.com.
You can check out all our past guests and our upcoming guests on our calendar. All our episodes are up there. We're on YouTube and Spreaker, iTunes, Google Play Music. And we're looking to get on Stitcher, because apparently a lot of people on Stitcher listen to podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I look forward to that. And what else? Oh, how about our sponsor? Go check out those son of a bitches.
Yeah.
At nationalsurvivalcenter.com or survivedon'tsuffer.com. They've got all kinds of badass outdoor gear, survival gear. If you're looking to stock up for the zombie apocalypse, or you're just feeling outdoorsy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've got everything under the sun. Bug-out bags, tents, sleeping bags, knives, fucking swords.
Yeah, pretty much everything, and pretty much free shipping on everything with the exception of survival food. So that's a pretty sweet deal.
And their prices are going to be way lower than anywhere else you're going to find on the internet. I can almost guarantee it.
Yep. And if you find something that's cheaper somewhere else, give them an email, shoot them out, let them just see if they can lower their price to match what you found.
Match it. Yeah. Those dudes ain't trying to get rich. They're just trying to provide some badass gear and, make a couple bucks.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, check them out. National Survival Center. Survive, don't suffer. That's
don't
their
suffer.
motto.
Don't do it.
All right. Let's wrap this up, huh? We done?
Yep. Who we got for a song?
Oh, you know what? We should probably tell people who we got coming up.
Oh, yeah.
If you're listening to this episode now, expect we've already done a couple episodes, but expect coming up comedian Nate McIntosh. That one should be out soon.
Nathan McIntosh,
and actor and comedian Frankie J. Yeah. So look forward to those two, and then we're gonna be off for about a week here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. Yep, a week. And so on April 12th, we have Andrea Harkins, the martial arts woman.
Yes.
We already had Kempo Girl. Now we're going to have martial arts woman. And Larry Roberts is going to be our guest host on that one. Because we don't know enough about martial arts, and Larry does. He's a black belt in, like, jiu-jitsu and Kenpo and stuff. So he's going to help us fill in the gaps in knowledge that we have. And so that should be a fun one. So look forward to that. That's going to be, we're going to record that on April 12th, Wednesday. And yeah, that's it.
That's all we got.
That's all we got coming up. We'll let you know about our other guests for the month when it gets a little closer. Don't be greedy, people.
Ben.
Yeah. All right. So let's play out this episode with a little song called, what is it called? It is called Turtle Bird.
Turtle Bird.
By Polish Ambassadors.
Sweet.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Later, fuckers.
Is it?